Well, Mark Tappan's police cruiser is equipped with sirens and lights and also a rubber mat and a spill-proof water bowl. That's because Mark is a cop in his city's K-9 unit, and his partner is a dog named Mattis.
Marine, former youth pastor, and now police sergeant Mark Tappan has been serving his community for decades, but he hasn't done it alone. His K-9 partner Mattis has been by his side every step of the way. As one of the most decorated police dogs, Mattis earned a Purple Heart of Valor after jumping 30 feet to apprehend a suspect. With a record of over 200 arrests and a social media following of over 5 million, Mark and Mattis are also A&E's America's Top Dog Champions. In Mark Tappan's book, A Dog Named Mattis, he shares the 12 lessons learned from his K-9 partner and how they can remind you to live courageously, serve selflessly, and love unconditionally.
All right, everyone, I'm super excited. Please welcome to the 700 Club Mark Tappan and his K-9 companion, Mattis. Oh my gosh, guys, welcome to the 700 Club.
Thank you so much. We're excited to be here.
Oh my goodness. Okay, how old is Mattis?
He's 11. He just turned 11 on the 28th.
Oh my goodness. Okay, now how long have you guys been working together? And let's go back to, how did you guys even begin to work together?
We worked together for 6.5 years, and it was one that I didn't want a big dog like Mattis.
Yeah.
And he jumped out of the car, and I was like, not that dog. And we started running all these tests, and he was killing the tests. Just
really
excelling beyond all the other dogs.
Oh my goodness.
And then his last test is like this, where you put on the bite jacket, and you let him come and grab a hold of you.
Wait, you're the person that he
Oh,
bites?
I was the guy.
Oh my
I was the guy.
gosh.
Yeah, I was testing all the dogs.
Yeah.
And so he came in and just crushed.
Wow.
But he did it like all these other dogs were going nuts.
Yeah.
He was calm and focused.
Whoa.
And I was like, there's something different about that dog, and it's kind of special.
I love that. Okay, so we were talking briefly in the break that he is a German Shepherd. What is the other breed that usually officers get?
Belgian Malinois are also used.
Okay, so what's the difference between the two?
Well, typically Shepherds are a little bit larger. Belgian Malinois are very athletic. They're usually smaller. He wants to play with you.
Hi, so cute.
He decided it's playtime. And I think, like, this is a personal preference, I think Shepherds are a little more loyal to one person, where Belgian Malinois, they love to work and can work with just about anybody.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the importance of having a K-9 a part of the police force. Like, how invaluable are they to a police officer?
Well, there's so many valuable things that they can do. They have amazing noses, and the way that they can track things with their noses is what we use them most for.
Yeah.
In reality, what I saw the biggest impact was as a police officer, a lot of times people won't talk to you, and dogs create a bridge. And so one of our main focuses was always to take advantage of that bridge.
Yeah.
So even though he was an awesome police dog,
Yeah.
I also tried to make sure that we were very community oriented and people could interact with him. So the answer, if they were like, can I pet him? Is always yes.
Now, what happens when people are afraid of him? Like, I would imagine that's a good thing in some cases, right?
No, and that's one of the things that dogs really do too, is I'm a short guy, I'm not that intimidating, and a lot of times it can be a peaceful outcome to a situation that otherwise might not be.
Wow.
But at the same time, if it's just someone out in public who's scared of a dog, I can tell him to lay down, and I can say, you can pet him if you want. He's a sweet dog. And so it might create a bridge that way.
Yeah, I gotcha. Well, how do you even begin to train a dog to do what Mattis has done?
You find out what they love, and with him, I don't know, can you figure out what he loves?
Obviously that toy.
He loves that toy. Like, he loves any toy. And so what you do is you tell him, look, if you do this for me, you can get your toy. That's where it starts. But you get really good when you build a bond with the dog where he wants to do things just because he respects you. What
has that bond been like for you with Mattis?
So this was the other thing, going back to your other question about what police dogs can do.
Yeah.
It's been amazing. He was my best friend. He is with me more than any person in this world.
Yeah.
Obviously I love my wife and my kids immensely and differently. But we see a lot of dark things as police officers. We carry burdens with us, and it was always my prayer to be a bright light. But I always had my dog that when I get in the car, he'd put his heavy head on my shoulder, and I could just pet it. When he retired, that was one of the hardest things, was carrying that burden without a dog.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I can imagine. Look, I got a little baby dog at home. He's a lot smaller than Mattis. He might be a little jealous that I'm loving on Mattis today, but dogs just truly make such a difference in the world.
Incredible.
They really are. Well, your book is called A Dog Named Mattis, 12 Lessons for Living Courageously, Serving Selflessly, and Building Bridges from a Heroic Canine Officer. And you talk about 12 different lessons that you have learned, or we can all learn from Mattis. And one of the things you kind of touched on it was building bridges, not walls. Can you just kind of go a little bit deeper with that?
Yeah, well, it's all about that. Is our popularity and his success on social media and all those other things grew in a time when there was the greatest chasm between police officers and citizens. And it's because we were very intentional and we try to be authentic and share. You might want to move that.
Just in case this gets knocked out.
It's just one of those that people love dogs. Right? And it creates an avenue of conversation. And so that's what I always try to take advantage of.
Yeah, definitely. Well, another lesson that you talk about is God works for the good.
Yep.
Talk about that.
So many situations that, like, the book starts off. And
should I throw this?
Well, if you do, he's going to drag me off. He wants you to.
Okay.
Here, I'll grab it for you. We went through a very chaotic situation very early in his career where he almost died.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and that's the 30-foot fall that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Lacerated liver. He caught one guy, chased down the next guy, and what I saw through that was, like, I was questioning myself. Did I make a bad choice? It was a poor decision on my part. Like, all these things were racing through my mind, and I had no idea about all the plans that God had for this dog. The book, the social media, the TV show that we ended up going on and competing and doing well, and the connections that he made with people. So you see God's plan through all of it, even though I thought in the moment, I made this horrible decision and it might cost this dog his career. And I was really worried about it.
Yeah, but he made a full recovery.
Full recovery. He was back to work in a month.
Oh my gosh.
It was crazy.
That's amazing. Well, he's obviously retired now.
Yes.
What was that moment like for you?
You're gonna make me cry on camera.
Please do.
No, don't do that. So the very first day, and actually for the first year after he retired, he would always run down to his harness, and he'd wait for me to put his harness on, and then he'd follow me to the door and wonder why he wasn't going with me to work. And so it's one of the hardest things. Now he doesn't go down to his harness anymore because he's figured out that he's not going to work. But he's the only dog that wakes up when I wake up, and he walks me to the top of the stairs, and he gives me love as I go down the stairs and go out to work. So.
Wow, okay, you're making me cry.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, what is he up to now? Is he just enjoying his life?
Yeah, I mean, with the book stuff, we still try to do a lot. A lot of times when dogs retire, they lose the mental stimulation and they pass away very soon after they retire. And so it's one of the things that we try to do is make sure that we still engage him with, like, odor games and all the things he did when he was working, just to make sure that he still sees purpose in his life.
Yeah. Well, before we let you go, thank you so much, Mark, for everything, and thank you for the book. We have to see Mattis in action. We actually have hidden something in the studio. And Mattis, it's your job to go find it, buddy. So
he's excited.
You take it away.
Mattis, los. Can you los for me? Is that cool? All right, buddy. Apport. Oh, there's so many. Come on. Apport. Where are we going? Good boy. Apport. Where are you going? Did someone plug something in? That's a good boy!
Yay!
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is so awesome. Well, I just want to say thank you so much to Mark and Mattis. Guys, thank you so much. He's just an incredible creature. God bless dogs. They are amazing. And you can learn even more about this duo by getting Mark's brand new book. It's called A Dog Named Mattis. Highly recommend you get your hands on it. It's available nationwide.